March 22nd.
March is too rainy. August 16.
Too humid. May 25th.
Edward. That's our wedding anniversary. In fact, lose May altogether. October is a nice month.
Maxine, all your ideas keep moving things farther away.
Because I want to put plenty of distance between our wedding and this Eric thing.
There could be continuances. There could be postponements. Not to mention how long the trial could take. It could go on forever.
I know.
Mom, Lauren says you're the only one that can braid her hair. Hey, Jared.
Morning, Amy.
Well, tell Lauren that I am busy trying to plan the rest of my life.
The fact that you have a life is not going to register with Lauren.
Are you all right?
I didn't sleep well.
Morning, everyone. Exciting news.
Up there with alternative fuel.
The wedding napkins have arrived. These are cute. What do you mean? Cute or cutesy?
They're nice. I mean, they're nice.
I'm having to do this all by myself, you know.
And you are doing a wonderful job.
The doctor says the second trimester is going to be much easier.
What does that have to do with anything? We're talking about napkins. Maxine! What do you think of the napkins?
They're lovely, but we are postponing the wedding.
That's not funny.
It can't be helped. I am not in the mood to throw a big party with this cloud hanging over my head.
What cloud?
Eric Black's trial?
But everything's all set. Deposits have been made.
Non-refundable deposits.
There was a murder in our backyard last week. Am I the only person who feels that this is worthy of some attention?
No, Mother, you are absolutely right. This timing is lousy. It's not like you're in a rush. It's not like you're pregnant.
You're not? Well, this changes things.
Jared, you're not in favor of postponing the wedding, are you?
No, I'm not.
Thank God.
I want to move it up
Up? How up?
to a week from Saturday.
Is it hot in here?
That falls between the transfer hearing and the actual trial. Maxine, due to the nature of your work, there will always be some clouds dogging us. There will always be reasons for us not to get married. So, I don't care about the party at the Athenaeum. All I care about is becoming Mr. Maxine Gray. So, we'll call a caterer, we'll call a preacher, and all of us will get together and we'll finish this up next weekend. That's just one man's opinion. Without tears.
Well, it's just...
Fine.
I wasn't going to say fine.
Thank you for all that you have done thus far. Jared and I will take it from here. I hope you'll do your best to attend our wedding on Saturday at...
2 p.m.
Perfect. Perfect.
He won't take my calls. He ignored the letter I sent him. It's like I never even existed.
He's very confused right now.
My first attempt at being a foster father, and the kid ends up in jail for manslaughter. Could I have handled this any worse?
Let's stop assigning blame right this minute. We need to concentrate on getting Eric a fair trial, starting with the transfer to juvenile court.
Believe me, I'm lying awake at night trying to figure out who owes me one in the ASA's office.
Not that you would do anything untoward.
About Ashworth.
What about him?
He's head of juvenile prosecutors. You two have a relationship.
We will not be dealing with him in the transfer hearing, even if I were willing to call in a favor, which I'm not. By the way, I'm getting married. A week from Saturday. I hope you'll be able to attend.
What happened to January?
It's still in the calendar, followed by February, but I'm getting married in 2 weeks.
Why?
Why? So I can have sex, Sean. Why do most people get married?
I mean, why now?
Because I want to. And I hope that you'll be happy for me and share in my joy.
I'm not feeling very joyous right now.
Then I hope you'll fake it.
Bruce. Bruce Van Exel.
Zola. No one shrieks my name quite like you do.
I wanted to congratulate you on the press conference. You did a great job.
Just nodded and smiled.
You nodded and smiled while looking handsome and respectable, which is why I want to invite you to a discussion panel next week.
Did you say handsome?
The subject is discrimination in state and local government employment opportunities.
Will there be dancing?
Pick you up at 10:30.
You'll pick me up.
Wear a suit. A navy suit. You look good in blue.
This is a probable cause hearing for Thomas Delancey, Dorian Franks, Jonathan Bard, and Rodney Hughes, who have been charged with first-degree sexual assault. Is that correct, Ms. Ryan?
Yes, Your Honor. At a Halloween party, these young men drugged and took turns with 15-year-old Eliza Wagner and then took photographs to help them remember this milestone. Eliza had no memory of the rape, only a vague sense that something had gone wrong at the party, until she saw the pictures of herself being passed around her high school.
Your Honor, there's no evidence that rape drugs were used. My clients maintain that Miss Wagner was simply inebriated and that she willingly submitted to these sexual acts.
Do you have the photos in question?
I do.
Objection, Your Honor. This is most misleading.
Well, they may be, and you can explain it all away once I've looked at them.
Once you have a look at these, it'll be clear why we're moving to transfer this case to adult court. I hope Your Honor hasn't eaten recently.
Objection.
Was that called for, Miss Ryan?
The men in question are dressed as superheroes.
Objection. Boys. Your Honor, these are straight-A, college-bound students who have never been in trouble with the law. Now, I'm submitting their school records along with their curricula vitae.
You're not denying these are the superheroes in question?
No. As stated, the boys have admitted to engaging in a sexual act with Ms. Wagner, but we will prove that it was entirely consensual. Now, my clients go to an all-boys prep school. Now, they have limited exposure to girls.
Lovely choice of words.
Your Honor, I'm not defending their actions. I'm only required to convince you that this was not, in fact, a sexual assault. In addition, the single-sex environment means that they are especially inexperienced in how to behave around girls.
So Mr. Falsey is going with the boys will be boys defense?
Well, this court has to take such matters into consideration.
Mark these for identifications, A through D, and I will need a day to read up on these fine gentlemen.
Your Honor, are you exposing a bias?
I'm exposing a sarcasm, Mr. Falsey. If you want me to recuse myself, say the word. I think Judge Vine is available. He has 3 teenage daughters.
I'm fine with proceeding.
Good. Tomorrow at 10? I need a recess.
15-minute recess.
They let me have music, and I get my own room, I read a lot, it's not so bad. They wouldn't let me have the cookies you sent, though. Worried about nail files or cyanide chocolate chips, I guess.
I'm sorry, I thought since it was me.
Maxine, you know how it happened, the way Jason got killed.
How are you on socks and underwear?
It was his knife. I got it away from him, and he came at me.
Has your attorney talked to you about the transfer hearing?
You're not listening.
I'm not a lawyer. There's no client privilege. Whatever you tell me, I have to divulge. So I can't discuss this with you. You know what happens in the transfer hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's where they decide if I'm going to be tried as a kid or an adult. We're hoping for kid, right?
That's right.
So, I'll practice being immature. I'm just trying to cheer you up.
I hope you understand how serious this is.
Yes, but I am the one in trouble. Why are you so upset?
Because I care about you.
You're acting like you're mad at me.
I want you to cooperate with your lawyer. She's a smart woman. I've known her for a long time. She'll get you through this.
Well, how does he seem to you?
detached, in denial.
I know. It's a problem.
Things would go a lot better if he could grow some remorse between now and the transfer hearings.
A boy with his history learns how to shut down before he learns how to tie his shoes.
Now's the time for you to call in any favors you legally can.
Favors are, by definition, illegal, Jane.
The victim had defensive wounds on his arms and his hands. That's why it's so important to keep this in juvenile court. You know that. A kid like Eric in adult prison. I don't have to tell you.
No, you don't.
Thank you. One stretch limo will do it. There won't be many people, which is the advantage of throwing a bachelor party at the last minute.
You should let me handle this. I happen to know a lot of people in this industry.
What industry?
The men going out in public acting like idiots industry. For example, I know the proprietor of the Salty Crab.
Excuse me?
It's a restaurant with a pirate theme. The women wear these hot pants and these little peasant blouses, and you get to call them wench.
I know the establishment, but I am not taking Jared Duff there.
What did you have in mind?
The Rochester Club. It's a gentleman's club with an extensive wine list, 50-year-old cognac cigars, and a light supper menu.
Oh, there's fever in the funk house now. Hey, Amy.
Don't talk to me.
Why not?
See? You're talking.
Explain to Kyle why we cannot throw Jared's bachelor party at the Salty Crab.
Explain to me why you're throwing a bachelor party for Jared Duff. No, don't. I'm already in a bad mood.
It's a gesture of goodwill.
And you get to see naked girls.
There will not be strippers there.
A bachelor party without strippers? Is that even legal?
He's a classy guy, and we're giving him a classy party.
Which no one can come to.
Why is no one coming? Don't tell me. I'm going upstairs.
Vincent can't make it on short notice, and Charles is in China, and he can't be here by Friday. So that just leaves me and Kyle and Jared and... Hey, what about Bruce? Bruce likes parties, doesn't he?
Yeah, maybe he can help us find one.
Bye.
Why are you in a bad mood?
Because I don't feel well. Because somebody who was trying to kill me has ended up dead in my backyard. Because I'm hearing a disgusting case at work. Because somebody I care about is in jail. And finally, because I don't think our mother should be getting married right now.
Oh, okay.
And for the record, I think bachelor parties are primitive, and I'm disgusted that anybody in my family would attend one.
This one's going to be classy.
Yeah. They always start out classy. They always end up the same way. Drunken men stuffing money into women's crotches. Why? Because when men get together to celebrate being men, something happens. They become aboriginal. They start to leak brain cells.
Can we go back to the part where you're not talking to anybody?
That's all I have to say. Good night.
Maxine, do I really have to go to this bachelor party?
Oh, God, who's planning that?
Peter. Yeah, he says there won't be strippers, but there always are. I'm uncomfortable around strippers. I don't like strange naked women in my lap. Yes, I know this makes me odd.
Isn't there a way to get married on the internet?
Miss Gray, I'm Paul Zimberg. Hi. I left several messages.
Oh, dear.
Do you have a minute to talk?
I'll go RSVP.
I'm sorry. I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm getting married in 2 weeks.
Oh, congratulations.
What is your organization?
The Hartford Examiner.
Oh.
As the caseworker for Eric Black, I was wondering if you could answer a few questions for a story we're doing.
Goodbye, Mr. Zimberg.
Information I have is that Eric bounced around the system and ultimately ended up making his living on the streets.
This interview is over. Goodbye.
We're going to run the piece either way. Might help Eric to have someone speak on his behalf.
What would help Eric is for byline-starved journalists to remember that he is a child and deserves his day in court. If you must feed off human misery, can't you develop an appetite for adults?
Can I quote you on that?
Do whatever you need to do, Mr. Zimberg, as long as you leave immediately.
Thank you, Miss Gray.
There's a Halloween party, you know, everybody's dressed up, acting goofy. There was some drinking going on. I had a few beers, we all did. And we got pretty drunk, me and my friends, because really we're just not used to drinking.
Why is that?
Because we're athletes. We're on the lacrosse team at Walderson Prep.
This party wasn't at your school?
No, Walderson is all boys. This was mostly John Hart, which is a public high school.
In fact, you weren't invited to the party. Isn't that true?
Well, it's not like there's a guest list. You hear about these parties, you show up.
So you didn't know Eliza Wagner prior to this party?
No. I mean, we knew about her.
Excuse me?
She had kind of a reputation.
What kind of reputation was that, Mr. Delancey?
She liked to party.
And because of that reputation, that gave you the right to drug and assault her?
Objection.
Give me something, Mr. Polsey.
It's not a question.
I heard her voice go up at the end. Mr. Delancey should answer.
We didn't assault anybody. I mean, she came on to us. She was dressed like a hooker.
Oh, so you thought she was a prostitute. Well, did you pay her for her services?
No. I'm just saying that... I'm just saying she's a certain kind of girl. And she was all over us. She was saying things like she could take us all at once.
So she was conscious at the time the sexual acts occurred?
Yes.
Because she didn't look conscious to me in the photos I saw.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. She was.
Anything else?
Who took the pictures, Mr. Delancey?
I think maybe Jonathan did. I don't know. I was drunk. I can't remember.
Were you drunk at the time you distributed them around her high school?
Okay, that wasn't us. That wasn't us. We don't know who did that, and we don't know how that happened. It wasn't even our school. Look, I'm not saying that what we did was smart. But we all feel really bad about it. We even apologized to her afterwards. But you can't call this rape. Because it just wasn't, Your Honor.
Yeah. I'm gonna put him down. He missed his nap.
Wouldn't hurt to talk to Ashworth. If the press has gotten a hold of the story, they're gonna have a field day. The ASA's office is gonna feel pressure. The judge will feel pressure to transfer it to adult court. It'll change the whole tenor of the trial.
Amy, are you suggesting I use my position at DCF to influence the case?
You bend the rules all the time. Why are you being so shy about it now? This is Eric. He's practically a member of this family.
I don't believe it was an accident, and I don't think the judge will either.
Well, that's not the point. If he did kill the guy on purpose, that is all the more reason this case has to stay in juvenile court.
I know. Truth is, Amy, I'm running out of patience with Eric, with the system, with everything. Maybe it's true. No one had more pain than Eric, but no one had more chances either, and he threw it away. And that is precisely the kind of thing that makes social workers want to give up.
And get married and ride off into the sunset? Strike that comment.
Should I decant this, or is that just snooty?
Well, a little bit of snoot never hurt anybody. Go ahead. Let's skip this for this evening, shall we? I'm trying to ramp up to a jovial mood in time for the wedding.
It makes two of us.
Without divulging too much, let me just say that the bachelor evening is going to be a night to remember. Simon Rochester, proprietor, is personally overseeing the evening. And that's all I'm going to say.
Well, I'm sure that'll be very nice.
And I hope you like a 50-year-old brandy with your cigars.
Personally, I prefer a 22-year-old brandy with a boombox.
I'm planning a very nice hen night.
Oh, no.
Where? Here. I didn't have time to find a place, but a person needs notice.
What's a hen night?
It's when the women get together and pretend to have fun, but really they sit at home and obsess about what the men are doing, which in this case will not be much.
Kyle, you're the closest.
And the most annoying?
Will there be real hens at the hen night?
No, sweetheart. There's, refreshments and stories and... Games.
Honestly, I don't need a hen night. Maxine, you are having a hen night.
Wonderful.
This guy is claiming to be a member of the family?
Sorry, I just happened to be in the hemisphere.
Well, good heavens. Charles, oh, my goodness. Oh, who's minding the store?
Well, boys can handle it. How many chances do you get to go to your father's bachelor party?
Welcome, Charles.
Do I get to call you Mom yet?
Not yet.
The Chinese government hasn't lifted the ban on all search engines, but that'll happen any day. And ours is in place and ready to go. And what follows is a whole mess of information services just waiting to take off. Information is the oil of the new millennium.
Yeah. Charles has put together a top-notch team over there.
So, Charles, you have to go back to China between now and the wedding? It's a lot of frequent flyer miles.
No, I'm just gonna hang around town until after the nuptials. Get a feel for everyday New England life.
Well, you don't have to get back?
Now, come on, Dad. This is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, well, absolutely. But it's just that we're so close to launching the product.
It'll be fine. Don't worry. Well, one thing is for sure, you are not going to go hungry in this marriage. Maxine, that was delicious.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. But Amy did most of the work.
Wow. Amy, I'd ask you out on the spot if we weren't about to be related.
Jared, help me with the dessert, won't you?
My pleasure.
I didn't know these guys at all. They just walked up and started talking to me. I was surprised because I knew they were Walderson boys and they don't usually associate with people like me.
What kind of people do you mean?
Townies. Public school kids. So they start talking to me and one of them gets me a beer. And then they just kept taking turns getting me beer.
So you don't know what was in those drinks?
Just tasted like beer. But I got drunker than I usually do. The room was spinning and stuff. Last thing I remember is being in a bedroom in the house listening to music.
And then what?
And then I woke up on the floor the next morning.
How long was it before you realized what had happened to you?
When I saw the pictures being passed around my gym class.
And you can identify the men in those photos?
Yeah. Those guys.
Eliza, how did you feel when you saw those photos?
Embarrassed.
Anything else?
Were you upset when you realized what had happened to you?
Typical guys.
Miss Wagner, if you did not give your consent, then you are saying that these boys raped you.
Yeah.
That's not upsetting to you?
Sure. And I'm mad about it. But guys like that, they get away with anything. That's how it works.
Maxine, what a nice surprise. I didn't see your name on my appointment list.
It's not on there. I snuck in while your assistant was in the bathroom.
And why would you do that? You do that because you're here on something very unofficial. So unofficial that you aren't really here. Is that correct?
It could be.
And does the reason you're not here have to do with a certain case? The transfer hearing of one Eric Black?
You know I can't talk to you about that.
While we're not talking about this, can you tell me what it is you don't want from me?
The press has gotten hold of a certain story about a certain foster child, former boy prostitute turned murderer, and the ASA's office is going to be under a certain amount of pressure to transfer the case to adult court, as that would be most reassuring to the public.
They are public servants.
What I was thinking was that if a juvenile prosecutor strongly requested the case,
We don't do that.
or just made an offhand remark during a game of racquetball,
Don't play it.
Jonathan, you owe me.
I owe you?
That whole debacle at Sanctuary House, I saved your job. You watched mine go up in flames.
And now it's time to pull you from the fire.
In adult prison, Eric will be passed around like a plate of hors d'oeuvres. And whatever is left of his spirit will be destroyed. No one will be able to put him. No one will be able to put him back together again. And if preventing that is not what the juvenile system is for, I'm not sure I know why we exist.
Maxine, this has nothing to do with me. The ASA will be arguing against the transfer.
You know people.
That's true. I have a few chips. But like anyone else, I prefer to cash them in sparingly.
I'm begging you. If that makes a difference.
Well, this looks pretty raucous. I suppose a disco ball descends from the ceiling at some point?
I don't think it's going to be that kind of an evening.
Gentlemen, relax. I'll be right back.
Don't tell me somebody got the idea to make it classy.
I did what I could. I was swimming against the tide.
Something wrong, Bruce?
Just this woman driving me crazy. 5 messages all from her.
Oh, congratulations. Who is she?
This woman is way too much trouble.
That's why I'm marrying Maxine. Because she's so easy.
There's been a little snag. They're sending the manager out. I'm sure it'll all be fine. I spoke with Simon Rochester himself earlier this week.
What kind of snag?
I specifically asked for the cricket room, and now they're saying it's booked.
Just cough up the Benjamins. That's always what it's about.
I'm not going to bribe someone to give me the room I reserved and put a deposit on.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be fine, Peter.
I am so sorry about the confusion, Mr. Gray. I'm Ted Simmons, the manager. Now, I understand you set this up with Mr. Rochester?
Yes, we spoke several times. Is he here?
He had to leave suddenly, and some of the bookings were not accurately transferred.
He left? Where'd he go?
Venezuela is the latest rumor. And unfortunately, we have no record of your reservation, and we are completely booked.
What? That's impossible.
Well, I'm very sorry, sir. As soon as we locate your deposit, we will refund it.
Well, that's not the point. I can't suddenly change my plans. This is an important event with important people. This is Jared Duff.
It's all right, Peter.
And this guy flew in from China.
I am very sorry, sir. We have nothing available.
All right. How unavailable is it?
Sir, we are completely booked.
Well, what are we supposed to do? Where are we supposed to go?
We can just go home and have some drinks.
We can't go home. The women are there. This is a disaster.
The last of the Mohicans.
Right. You rock, Maxine. Okay, that's 11 for us. Your turn.
Jillian. No, I just went. It's your turn.
Two words.
Book or movie?
Treasure Island. How many two-word books are there?
You're not even on our team.
Sorry.
Do we have to play this game anymore?
No, we don't. We can move on to my favorite part of the evening. Toilet paper bride.
Oh, sorry. Oh, this is important.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry. It's the nature of the beast. Just carry on without me, Amy.
Yeah, she needs me to go with her.
Yes, I just want you to keep me company.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It's very important.
Look, I am telling you, you just call her up and you say, Zulu, what the hell is going on?
Zola.
Zola, what the hell is going on? What the hell kind of name is Zola?
Very nice indeed.
Oh, you're a little too good at this game. Makes me wonder how you ever got through college.
The ones who couldn't do it who had trouble getting through college.
Can't believe it.
Oh, come on. This is better than the grasshopper room or whatever.
It was going to be so classy.
All right, Peter, it's your turn. Oh.
Hey. Ah, yeah.
Where are we going?
Nowhere.
Who beeped you?
Robert, I asked him to. Well, I didn't want to hurt Jillian's feelings. I thought we could use some time alone.
To talk about everything?
I'd like to discuss your resistance to my marriage.
I'm not resistant. I think it's bad timing.
Can't you just think of it as a light in a dark time, something to look forward to?
Why the rush? Why can't you wait?
Because we're old, Amy. Forever isn't as long as it used to be. Why can't you just be happy?
Everything I'm looking at right now is so ugly. The things people do to each other. It just never seemed so cold out there before.
It'll get better. And worse, and it'll get better again. My father used to say, everything will be fine in the end. If it's not fine, then it's not the end. Anyway, you are still not facing the real problem, which is, how are we going to survive Jillian's pregnancy? Thank you. I missed that.
Zola, it's Bruce Van Exel. And this message is about your 5 messages. What's up with that, girl? I mean, either it's business or it's not. Either you're in or you're out. Because I'm not the kind of man who just...
You can see through her smoke
I can
screening.
see through your screen smoking. Would you like to go out to dinner sometime? I mean, on a real date, okay? And don't bother calling back unless the answer is yes. And besides...
Bruce has taken the lead. I think we should all do something to challenge ourselves. Something we never thought we would have the guts to do before.
Well, I'm eating buffalo wings served by a wench, so I'm covered.
Well, I am getting married.
You're here.
And I'm sober, so I got you all beat.
I'm going to ask that wench for her phone number. Joe, that leaves you.
Okay. I'm gonna break it to my boss that I quit my job.
You're not serious.
Wagons were circling. Board was calling for a vote. Wasn't gonna go my way. Farewell, Duff Industries, Beijing. I was gonna wait till after the wedding, out of respect, but circumstances conspired. Another round?
What a pleasant way to wake up.
Get used to it.
Oh, boy. How was the bachelor party?
Well, lots of surprises.
Tell me.
I have to go back to China.
We're not getting married.
Oh, no, we are getting married. We're just not getting married next Saturday. That's all.
Charles.
Yeah, well, Charles is involved. Yeah, but,
I knew it.
But it's not his fault. Maxine, it's not the way you think.
Manipulative.
Yeah, Charles,
Jared.
He is my son, and he's going through a very difficult time. He got forced out of his position by the board of directors, so he had to walk away.
He quit his job?
No, he didn't quit. He had no other choice. If the board issues a vote of no confidence, well, that doesn't matter who Charles is related to. Don't you see that? Now, Maxine, in a way, I feel kind of responsible anyway. It's all my fault because I had a gut feeling right from the beginning he was not right for the job. I mean,
Are you listening? Are you listening to yourself?
Maxine, I don't want to fight.
Get used to it. They say the first fight you have is the one you'll have for the rest of your life.
I'm looking forward to finding that out.
Do you ever wonder if we're just too old for this?
Oh, I mean, for bachelor parties and hen nights? Yeah. For being happy together the rest of our lives? No. No.
Okay, let's get started. Ms. Ryan, what do you have?
Your Honor, I would like to submit some documents that came to my attention late yesterday afternoon.
Judge Gray, I received these documents last night. I haven't had time to review them adequately.
Are they complicated?
They're flyers.
As in flyers?
Yes. These were distributed around John Hart High School yesterday. As you can see, the petition calls for anyone with first-hand knowledge of Eliza Wagner's extracurricular activities to come forward and speak out. A monetary reward is offered, and the phone numbers correspond to the defendants.
Mr. Falsey, do your clients deny a connection to these documents?
No, Your Honor, they admit to distributing them, but I'd like to point out that they made yet another foolish decision, which should shed further light on the adolescent nature of their behavior.
I don't know. These seem pretty professional to me. Properly worded and spelled, nicely designed. If this were a midterm paper, I'd give it at least an A-.
But the motivation behind it
Is self-serving and opportunistic.
It's immature.
It's evil. This case is the stuff of nightmares. Everything about it has haunted me since it began, and I had to ask myself, why? It's not as if I haven't had rape cases before, even where multiple assailants were involved. And then it occurs to me that I am seeing a level of cynicism that I have never seen in this courtroom. It is the planning and the foresight that is so disturbing. These men made proactive decisions every step of the way. To dress in costume, to choose a girl with a certain reputation, possibly to drug her, certainly to approach her in a vulnerable state, to take pictures and pass them around, and finally the coup de grace, an organized attempt to discredit the victim. There are no children here. Even the victim is so numbed by life experience that she cannot muster any outrage at being raped. I don't know all the circumstances that went into this moment, but I know that I am seeing a crime that this court is not equipped to punish. So I'm finding probable cause and transferring this case to the criminal docket, where the boys will be boys defense is not going to cut it, Mr. Falsey, so you might want to start over. We're adjourned. Thank God.
All rise.
All right. Thank you. All right, let's go.
This is a hearing on the defendant's motion to transfer. Eric Black is charged with first-degree manslaughter in the death of Jason Lobdell. Mr. Black is here and represented by counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to submit a motion to transfer.
Any particular reason?
We reviewed the details earlier and decided the evidence for premeditation required to successfully prosecute simply isn't there.
I see.
We also feel the case will be in good hands with Mr. Jonathan Ashworth in juvenile court. I apologize for the confusion, Your Honor.
Very well. I hereby grant the transfer to juvenile matters.
Wow, well. This is a surprise.
They called your room. They said to look for you here.
They know me. This place is my home away from home. Not that I know where the hell my home is anymore. Go sit down, I'll buy you a drink.
No, thank you. Charles, I don't know you very well, so what I'm about to say may sound kind of crazy, but I have a talent for picking up on people's hidden natures. It's part of the job. I think you're up to something. And I'm here to tell you that if you do anything more to interfere with this marriage, I think you will regret it.
Am I being threatened by a superior court judge?
No. By a daughter who loves her mother, which is way worse. Ask anybody. Good night.
Which will you love?